Here we are within the Roti Rocks Vineyard and new tasting room. We wish you were here. We're sorry we couldn't have you at SoDo, at Portland, and here on the rocks. We really wish we could showcase this to you live, but this is gonna have to do on video instead because we're in the middle of the pandemic. Hopefully by June or July, we'll be having everybody over here. Hopefully you make the special trip out here because it is just that. It's extremely special and I really wish you guys could be here for it. We've got 3 of the spring release wines that we're gonna kind of showcase and taste through. We have Kevin Masterman who's gonna showcase the first wine, the 2019 Southern White. Without further ado, here comes Kevin.
6 feet, buddy. Hey, I just wanted to thank Sean for keeping it safe out here for me to come talk to you guys. I'm sure most of you know me. I'm Kevin with here at Roti Cellars. I'm here today to talk about the Southern White. Usually one of our favorite wines in the lineup for me, personally. This wine, about 60% Viognier. Some of that wine comes off our estate block here behind me. The majority of it, though, comes off kind of the other side of the valley from Dwelley Vineyard, kind of a cooler south-facing side on the east side of the city. The rest of the wine is made up of about 20% Marsanne, 15% Roussanne. Both those wines come from the Los Oitos vineyards that the famed Kenny Hart farms for us. Kind of the cool thing about this wine, the Viognier always got this tropical thing going on. Then we mix that with the Marsanne and Roussanne, which always have this brightness. And so we kind of have this cool balance of tropical, but meets bright and balanced and just kind of fresh. And it's always been good. The Viognier, we barrel ferment. That's how we kind of get some of that nice richness, that roundness in there, kind of the good tropical flavors. We don't do any malolactic fermentation, but we just kind of get it to a point where we like it through ferment, kind of stop it, send it to tank, and then we blend that with the Marsanne and Roussanne, which are done in stainless steel tanks. And so we kind of really keep that acidity, keep it really nice, bright, fresh. This 2019 vintage, a little bit cooler, so the acid's a little bit higher, a little bit more refreshing, but kind of looking forward to it this summer when it's gonna be nice and hot. Should pair well nicely with food as well, and I hope you guys enjoyed as much as we do. And I'll let Sean take you through the rest of the reds.
All right, hey, thanks, Kev. You know, working with Kevin has been fantastic. He's really upped the level of our whites. He cares so much. All right, 2018 Southern Red. 2018 was a warm year. It started out really hot during the summer, and then towards August into September, it got nice and cool, so we had these long hang times. So what we found was, especially with Grenache, especially with Mourvedre, it had long time to hang. So we got this incredible maturity. The richness shows through in the wines. I would say for Grenache and Mourvedre, it was probably one of the best years just because they need that heat and they love that heat. And so within this blend, you have that trilogy. You know, you've got majority Grenache, a little Mourvedre, a little Syrah. The Syrah is now coming off the rocks. The Grenache is primarily from the river between Hood River and Mary Hill, and then from Upland, which is in Sunnyside. The Mourvedre comes from primarily the Benches, which is right off the Columbia River. Because we have those sites in such hot areas all along that river, it just adds to that extraction on hot years. We kind of pick our favorite barrels of Grenache, Mourvedre, Syrah, and it's really fun. When you do single vineyard, they're fun because they're so unique, but you just don't get that complexity that you get when you're blending. And so Southern for me is that strength from the Mourvedre that helps that brightness of Grenache, and then you follow through with that richness of Syrah. And I think it comes off really well in this bottle. Wish you guys could try it with us, but you're gonna have to just enjoy it with me. So hopefully open up a bottle. But you know, that's what we're trying to do with the Southern Red, is kind of make our favorite Rhone varietal, Southern Rhone varietal, just heavy on the Grenache, and then use those other 2 components to really just, I don't know, make it more complete. And I think we've done it with this wine. It's not too overly extracted. The Grenaches are really this bright red fruit, and then you have the strength of that kind of that meaty, gamey side of Mourvedre combined with a little bit of the rocks, where you get that rocks funk. But it's just enough that it isn't overpowering. So we hope you really enjoy the Southern that we have for you this year. Now we move on to the 2018 Northern Red. Comes from the Roti Rocks estate that's behind us. Again, 18 really hot during the summer, kind of cooled off really nicely in September. So we had these long hang times. We picked this at the end of September, early October. It's primarily Syrah, as you guys probably all know. It's co-fermented with a little Viognier, so 95% Syrah, 5% Viognier. We have 2 different clones of Syrah, and we have 8 acres here, and we get about 3 tons per acre. What happens is we'll have kind of a first pick off of each one of those clones. So we'll have a first pick that is earlier on, about 10 days earlier. And so that gives us this kind of a little bit more acid, a little bit more freshness. And then with each clone going forward, we will have a later pick as well. So we end up having about 4 different types of Syrah that come off of this. 2 clones, but an early pick and a later pick. And so the later pick, we tend to go with these really extended macerations, and the earlier picks, we kind of go for a standard kind of 14-day maceration. So what that gives us is it gives us this really bright side with a little bit of acid, because in the rocks, the acid drops out pretty early. It's just this high pH site. And that's what gives it this beautiful velvet side of things that I just love. And that's what a lot of people fall in love with the rocks for. It's got this incredible nose. It's got that unique side of things where it's this fingerprint for Washington State. And that fingerprint within the rocks is that funkiness. It's this dirty, earthy side of things. Within those 2 picks, we're able to kind of pick and choose our favorite balance between a little bit more acid, a little bit more of this really long extended macerations where it's really rich and powerful, yet pretty high pH. So within that balance, we're really getting this balance between, you know, richness and acidity. And so let's try it. You can definitely tell that extended maceration is just this rich side of things, that it has that balance of acidity. We're definitely getting better at what we're doing within these blends, just because we have more options. We have more options of what we're dealing with within the vineyard, and the vines are maturing. Really wish you guys were here to enjoy it, but the time will come. Stay safe, stay healthy, and thanks for supporting us. We couldn't do it without you.